everybody, welcome back to the 31 Days of R. I am your host Moon616 and thank you once again for stopping in, guys. Yeah, day 16 here on the 31 Days of Horror Volume 4. And yes, we're going to take it back to the glorious year of 2011. I have no idea what that means. With a film that I had never seen before. In fact, I'd never even heard of this film until my boy Danny sent this one over in a package a while back, and I was, yeah, very stoked to check this one out. And it is called Orcs. Yeah, so if I had to sum up this film very quickly for y'all, basically if you took Super Troopers and Lord of the Rings, mashed them up, you get Orcs. Yes, it's like Orcs from Lord of the Rings. Even though this movie right here deals with park rangers and Super Troopers is highway patrol, you get what I'm saying. It's still law enforcement of some sort, and yeah, with the comedy and shit. So getting into the synopsis of this one, basically there is a porthole that has been opened by some dude doing some illegal mining up in the mountains here in this national park, and he unleashes these orcs. And so now it's up to these two national park rangers to not only save their park from these orcs taking over, but to save the world before they devour all of human and mankind. So that is the synopsis of the film. It's very simple. Now my thoughts on this one, wow, this was a really, really fun-ass film. I didn't really know what to expect going into this one. I thought it was going to be way too silly and goofy, over-the-top ridiculousness with bad effects and just bad jokes and shit. Really, I got the polar opposite of most of that right there. The characters were super fun. Cal, played by Ben Carlson in this film, is our lead ranger. He's great, man. He's not like super silly with his jokes and shit. He's wisecracking all the time. He's got a, you know, a younger kind of deputy sidekick ranger, very naive type character by the name of Bogart, I think is his name in the film or something. But anyways, he's in training and shit. He's so naive that he carries around a little black book and, you know, writes down everything and shit. But it's like a perfect chemistry between the two because Cal knows it all. We got this naive sidekick and they kind of feed off each other. Really, really fun. Yeah, but the tone of this film was actually quite surprising. You know, it's comedy, horror, action horror, but it maintains it through the whole film. It never kind of gets too silly and then you're just like, rolling your eyes and shit. It maintains it through the whole film, which is actually kind of cool, and even gets kind of serious in certain parts, which is also kind of cool. Now, yes, the orcs are, you know, the orcs from Lord of the Rings, which is kind of cool, man. You know, there's even scenes in this film that are kind of like direct parodies, minor parodies to like Lord of the Rings and shit, which is kind of cool. I haven't watched Lord of the Rings in a long time, so this was very fresh to watch. It's pretty cool. Even the looks of the orcs were actually really interesting. Just dudes running around in costumes, but I like that. I'd rather have that than, you know, CG'd monsters. That's just fucking bullshit. Speaking of CG and the effects, most of the effects in here are practical. We do get a little bit of CG. It's not horrible by any means, but it is noticeable CG. You know, the blood and gore in this film is there. It's not like over the top or anything, which actually kind of surprised me. I thought that they were going to go that route with this and just have ridiculous amounts of gore and shit. They really don't. There is certain scenes and stuff that you do get with decapitations and things like that, but you know, it still kind of holds its own and shit. But overall, really, really fun movie. The music was awesome. The cinematography was fantastic. I thought all the characters and the acting was actually pretty good in this too. Everyone did a good job. Everyone kind of stood out. You know, nobody was super lame. There's not a whole pile of characters. Cal's girlfriend here, I'm not sure what her name is. I can't even remember in the film right now, but she was cool in the film. She was a nice little addition, you know, kind of halfway through the film and shit like that too. But got a really good pace. A really good pace to this film. It gets into it right away. Like, I mean, right away. And, you know, never kind of lets up for the whole 80-minute ride, and that's really what you kind of want from a comedy action horror film. Very cool stuff, man. It has a really fun ending too. Yeah, big surprise, man. Danny, if you're watching this video, thank you for sending this over, man. This was such a blast. If you're curious about the Blu-ray, this is actually a Region 2. I'm not sure if there is a Region 1 release of this film. I never looked into it, but this is a Region 2. Region B Blu-ray, so you can play it if you have an all-region player and stuff. But yeah, if I had to rate this one, I'm gonna come in at about 7.5 out of 10. It was really, really entertaining. Good stuff. to be honest, I actually kind of wanted a little bit more. I was having so much fun with this when I was watching it, and yeah, man, really, really good stuff, man. There's this one scene in the film where Cal, he's you know, basically busts these guys for having drugs, and he tells his sidekick, you know, his partner, that, you know, he's got to smoke these things to find out if they're real weed. And he's like, oh, really? I didn't know that. And he's like, oh, you didn't read that in the manual? He's like, no, I must have missed that in the manual. Fuck, I just, like, literally floored me. I was pissing myself with this part, man. The joke goes a little bit further, too, which actually gets pretty funny, too. But shit like that, man, I love the fact that it didn't go over the top, goofy and silly and shit. It just kind of maintained that level of comedic relief, and that's what I like, man. That's what I really like. So, Orcs. Very cool stuff, man. Give it a shot if you guys can get your hands on it. And that's going to do it here for day 16. I will be back tomorrow with day 17. And I'm trying to get to some of the requests for the reviews and stuff here. A lot of the requests are films that I've reviewed already, unfortunately. That's understandable. I've literally reviewed like 2,000 films on this channel, so at one time or another. So it's, you know, it can be difficult. But keep them coming in, and I'll try to get to them in this, you know, the latter half of this 31 Days of Horror, which I'm having so much fun. Hope you guys are enjoying your October and this series. I definitely am, and I'll check you guys out tomorrow. And as usual, deuces!